I thought the young man did a good job. I thought that his emotion was sincere. I thought his apology seemed sincere. He took all the questions. What's your reaction to what we saw today from Joe Mixon?
Well, there's a few things that really got my attention from the beginning. Him answering the questions compared to just having a prepared statement. The overall apology to the university, to the coaching staff, to his teammates, to his mother, to his siblings, 2 brothers, 3 sisters, 15 or 16 nieces and nephews. You can tell that he had been through something. And not that it happened 2.5 years ago. Since the video was released, he's kind of living through all this all over again. So for me, I'm a person that believes in the rehab of people. I do believe in second and third chances. I don't believe in putting your hands as a man on the elderly, children, or on a female. So in life, are we just going to throw away people who end up making this mistake, or we're going to use this as a teachable moment in his life to be able to help people out? Because we can't continue to go down this street that we're on, that athletes, they set the barometer for how everything is judged. In society, a man, he can abuse a woman, beat up a woman, but only in athletics do we want it to be fatal for him. Now, we have to make up our mind where we're going to be as a society, because we need some type of consistency.
Mike, I want to come to you with this question. It's a little bit of a curveball, but Joe Mixon went out and did this today on his own. No Bob Stoops next to him, no athletic director, no school president. That was probably the right call, but I'm just wondering.
And also, Jason, against the wishes of legal.
Yeah, but I'm sorry, Bob Stoops did introduce him, but again, It was this kid out there handling this on his own. No attorney whispering in his ear as this transpired. Yeah.
And took responsibility, which I think is the first step. I mean, look, I am not one to judge the press conference. To me, I don't know what his human emotions are. I'm not going to sit there and say, oh, I thought he did a good job. He did exactly what his emotions told him to do. He took accountability for his actions. He stood there like a man and he expressed forgiveness. You got to take him for his word and you move forward. I think that ultimately shows that he was willing to stand up for it, that he wasn't trying to hide behind the legal system, that he wasn't trying to hide behind the other people and let somebody else fight his battles, which often is the case. Sometimes they want other people to fight the battles, and I think he did that. And I think now we move forward, we judge him.
Another thing is, most men want a quick fix. They want to apologize and say it's over with. This kid is still getting counseling, and I believe that this is a long-term thing, and I'm glad that he embraced counseling and still continues to this day.
Jason, what was the reaction to the public in the internet? How did it land with them? Was there any overwhelming, strong reaction one way or the other?
Yeah, everybody agrees generally with you guys that there's a lot of sympathy for this kid who made a grave mistake when he was 18 years old. And people want to believe that he's a changed guy. It's been 2.5 years, no arrests really. He had a parking ticket incident that was irrelevant. And the tide's starting to turn, and the focus is now on Bob Stoops. Where was this 2.5 years ago? Why didn't he come out and apologize 2.5 years ago? We got a 5-star recruit on campus, and he's only redshirting after this assault of a woman. The internet's definitely changing.
So it sounds like the brunt of the criticism is falling on Stoops, perhaps more than
without question. People are wondering, where was Bob Stoops 2.5 years ago?
I think anytime you look at some of the mistakes this country has made, it's because we've tried to hide it or delay it or not come in front of it. And I think this is one of those instances where we didn't come out. You need to get in front of something that's completely wrong and own up to it. And I think that's ultimately what they did. It took 2 years to do it. But this is a horrible case. It's a horrible situation that should have been addressed 2 years ago. And you can understand why and explain it. It's never going to make it right. Never going to make it right. But at least you can understand where this happened.
I want to end on this final note. All 3 of you guys are fathers. I want to direct this, though, to you, Cris, specifically. And you can lob it back to me if you want to. The young man started out talking about single mother, 5 kids. And the first thing I thought, no man in the home, not talking about a father figure or whatever. And again, when football, a lot of times I know you coach at the high school level, and you don't need the money, obviously, you don't need the attention. A lot of it is about helping kids from tough situations and teaching them some character and being that father figure for them. And so, some people may look and say, well, the system failed Joe Mixon because he's had coaches. But again, just as black men, there are so many young black men dealing with this issue of not having a father at the home. If you have any thoughts along that line.
Well, number one is, given the success and everything I've been through, I have a personal responsibility, not only to young athletes, regardless of what color they are, but given my background. I mean, life is about what you've been through. And life is not about what you went through, it's about what you overcome. So for me, I try to utilize my story. I try to utilize my experiences. I try to utilize the pitfalls that I have fallen into in my life to try to be a benefit. I don't use being a single parent home as being an excuse for human behavior. Best way to predict future behavior is past behavior. You know, so I try to let people know that if you don't change your behavior, this is what you'll be doing for a long period of time, regardless of what ethnicity you come from.